Friday. Happy Friday. Continuing with Self-Care September. So it's wonderful that you're all here. So taking care of yourself, focusing on your self-care. Balance will be a little bit of a theme today. The self-care, the 21-day challenge, it all works together. So if you're doing the 21-day challenge, day 2, very exciting to have everybody participating in that and for you to reap the rewards of it after September 30th. So come to a comfortable seat, and that can be with your knees apart, with your heels lining up with your pelvic bone, or that can be crossing the legs a little bit more and having the feet under the knees. So whichever is more comfortable for you. If you have a prop, a block, or a blanket to sit on, and elevate your hips so that your hips and shoulders stack well on top of each other, and you can find that nice length in your spine. So sit up nice and tall, rock back and forth a couple times, finding those sit bones, and then ground down through them. Close the eyes and turn the palms to face up, placing the index finger just under the thumb, extending the 3rd, 4th, and 5th fingers for the Jnana Mudra. And begin to drop in. Take a deep inhale through both nostrils. Hold it at the top for 1, 2, 3, 4, and exhale fully. As you exhale at the bottom, push out a little bit more so you really feel it in that lower part of the belly. And again, inhale. Hold it at the top. 2, 3, 4, and exhale, feeling the weight drop from your shoulders. Feeling your sit bones ground even more. And then begin to just be aware of your breath. So no constriction, no manipulation, just inhaling and exhaling. We'll be here for a minute or 2 just to give you that opportunity to be aware of your own breath. So my grandfather had a saying, everything in moderation. Let that sink in for a minute. And when I was thinking this week about the theme of balance, you saw in the newsletter, why does one side sometimes feel different than the other side? In our yoga practice, in our everyday life, tuning into the side that is more dominant for you, whether that's the right side or left side. This happens because of regular use. Or maybe there was an injury along the way that altered your dominant side. But our yoga practice can help us to balance out the sides. So we'll work on that a little bit today. But I thought about my grandfather saying everything in moderation, because everything in moderation can help balance mind, body, and soul. There's this article that I found talking about yoga practice not being too tight or too loose, and finding that middle ground, which ties into balance. So now move into your ujjayi breath. So from that basic breath awareness, as you inhale through the nose, then exhale, placing that constriction in the back of your throat, making the audible sound on the exhale. Maybe something that will help is making the ha sound as you exhale, but with your lips closed. So doing some rounds of your ujjayi breath, inhaling. And then hearing that audible sound that you're making in the back of your throat on the exhale. The ujjayi breath is known as the breath of victory. It also helps to stimulate the vagus nerve, which is the longest nerve in our body. Helps to wake up the spine, the nervous system, the circulatory system, and then ties into all the benefits of our yoga practice. Calming the chatter in our mind, reducing stress, improving digestion. It's a long list, and these don't happen overnight. You might not feel all of these after one single practice, but over time, and staying with the practice, starting to recognize subtle shifts. So bring your hands to heart center and set an intention for your practice today. Maybe drawing from any of those points that I made. Maybe balance, moderation, not too loose, not too tight. But also pause for a moment and just reflect. Today, time stood still 19 years ago. And I would be remiss to not acknowledge the lives lost, the courage of the first responders, of the civilians that helped that day. And whatever September 11th means to you, just take a moment to pause and reflect on that. Have compassion and warmth in your heart that you send out and dedicate. To seal your intention, place your right hand over your heart, your left hand over the right, sending that intention into your heart space. And then coming back to that ujjayi breath, flickering the eyes open, curling the corners of your mouth up a little bit, and make your way to tabletop.